Are men and women really different? Science isn't so sure. In many animal species, males and females are clearly different from each other so that we can tell them apart. Think about peacocks and peahens, and yes, the name of the species is actually peafowl. But not all animals look like this. For example, male and female penguins and storks look almost identical. Why? This has to do with something called sexual dimorphism, the physical difference between the sexes of its species. And it usually appears when the two sexes have an equal investment in reproduction. For example, in some species, females lay the eggs and raise the young alone, which takes a lot of time and energy. So over time they start to get picky and only choose to mate with males that show the best traits. This is called sexual selection, a process where individuals compete for mates, and sometimes traits evolve that serve no survival purpose and might even be harmful, but still they remain because they help with reproduction. Just like male peacock's tail, it's heavy, it's huge, it makes him an easier target, but if it survives despite it, that sends a message. Look at me, I survived, even with this massive burden. But it's not always the males who change. In some species, females are the larger sex. For example, in spiders, falcons, and anglerfish. And yes, parasitic male is a real academic term, and this is an example for extreme dimorphism. And the million-dollar question. Are humans sexually dimorphic? Kinda. Male gorillas are significantly larger than females. On the other hand, male and female gibbons are about the same size. But humans are somewhere in between. We're not as different as gorillas, but still we're not as similar as gibbons. On average, human males are 10% larger than females, which is not a huge difference. We're actually more similar to gibbons than gorillas. And of course, we can't forget about culture. In animals, species with strict sexual dimorphism like gorillas are often polygamous. On the other hand, animals with little dimorphism like gibbons are usually monogamous. But what about humans? Are we monogamous or polygamous? That really depends on the culture. In traditional societies, polygamy was practiced, but it wasn't based on biology only. It had more economic and demographic reasons. For example, the wealthiest man in the village would marry multiple wives, not because of physical differences, but because he could afford to support them. And let's not forget about hunter-gatherer societies, which make up most of human existence on Earth. They had a very different understanding of gender roles and social structures compared to modern cultures and modern societies, which just makes everything more complicated. So we still don't know if the differences between men and women are biologically strong enough to explain that kind of behavior, or if it's just mostly social.